Pulse rifles. As requested by some of you in the comments, we're going to go over the best pulse rifles to use in PvP. Pulse rifles are in an interesting spot in the Crucible because they aren't exactly unusable. They're just overshadowed by so many other weapons and weapon types in the Crucible that you really only run into a couple per lobby. So which ones are going to be the most effective in the Crucible? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Man of Coal, and today, let's find you the best pulse rifle to use in PvP. For those of you that are interested, you can follow my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/manofcoal. My link will be down in the description for you. Okay, so what are the best pulse rifles to use in PvP? The criteria for this list, again, is very similar to my other PvP weapons video. Go check those out afterwards, the links will be down below. The first bit of criteria these pulse rifles had to meet was accessibility. I wanted to make sure that I added weapons that everyone, for the most part, could have access to, and also have the potential to grind for your specific god rolls. The second thing I used for a criteria point was time to kill. If the pulse rifle had a relatively quick time to kill, it made the list. However, I was also aware that most of the time, people are not achieving the optimal time to kill on a pulse rifle, due to the nature of how this weapon type shoots, as it's pretty difficult to land 6 precision headshots consecutively. So I took into account the slowest time to kill, landing only body shots, for all pulse rifles as well. If the pulse rifle had a solid middle ground, it made the list. The third and final criteria they had to meet was possible perk combinations. I mean, it's the whole reason we use specific weapons and weapon types, right? If the gun can't roll good perks, we usually don't use it. So if they were able to roll good perks and perk combinations, they made the list. With that said, let's start with the first weapon on this list, bygones. The bygones is a kinetic 390 RPM pulse rifle that can be obtained from the Drifter and through time-lost weapon bounties from the obelisk in the tower. Bygones comes with some pretty high base stat rolls. Of those base stat rolls, the ones that stand out are the 60 stability, 69 recoil direction, and 61 aim assistance. For damage numbers, the bygones does 31 to the head and 20 to the body. It has an optimal time to kill of 0.93 seconds and a body shot time to kill of 1.40 seconds. In the barrel slot, you will be looking for corkscrew rifling, polygonal rifling, or small bore. In the mag slot, you will be looking for high caliber rounds, ricochet rounds, or flared magwell. This slot will be pretty consistent for all pulse rifles. It just is a matter of preference. In the first perk slot, actually any of the perks that can roll would actually be fine, but my go-tos are going to be Rampage, Kill Clip, and Rangefinder. In the final perk slot, you will either want Outlaw, Slide Shot, or Head Seeker. I've got one with Rampage and Head Seeker, which can really start pumping out some high damage numbers if you're getting consistent kills with it. Overall, bygones is a very simple weapon to use, and it has a lot of high quality potential perk combinations, which is why it makes the list. Make sure you try and get one with your god roll while you still can farm them from the time lost weapon bounties. Very quick and easy to complete. The next on our list today is the energy pulse rifle Claws of the Wolf. Claws of the Wolf is a 540 RPM pulse rifle that you can obtain from Lord Saladin, the Iron Banner vendor, or by completing Iron Banner bounties. For damage numbers, Claws of the Wolf does 24 to the head and 14 to the body. It has an optimal time to kill of 0.80 seconds and a body shot time to kill of 1.40 seconds. In the barrel slot, you will be searching for any of them. No, really, it depends on what you want to spec for, but any of the barrels will be a solid choice. In the mag slot, it's going to be the same as the bygones: ricochet rounds, high caliber rounds, flared magwell, and maybe even light mag. In the first perk slot, you will want Outlaw, Slide Shot, Snapshot, or Head Seeker. And in the final perk slot, Rampage, Kill Clip, Rangefinder, or High Impact Reserves. If you're a full auto person, you can also get that perk in this slot as well. Overall, Claws of the Wolf can come with a pretty loaded kit if you end up with the right perks. Damage numbers can greatly go up depending on this as well. I really enjoy using faster firing pulse rifles. In my opinion, I feel like I have more forgiveness in terms of hitting my shots. If I miss a burst, I can quickly fire off another one, hopefully before my enemy can get off its next shot. The third weapon on the list today is the Last Perdition. The Last Perdition is a 390 RPM pulse rifle that can be obtained either from Lord Shaxx, the Crucible vendor, or from time-lost weapon bounties located at the obelisk in the tower. For damage numbers, the Last Perdition does 31 to the head and 20 to the body. It has an optimal time to kill of 0.93 seconds and a body shot time to kill of 1.40 seconds. In the first slot for the Last Perdition, you actually get to choose what kind of scope you want, so this section is going to be kind of up to you. I'm going to go ahead and name some of the scopes that are accompanied by good stats. SPO 26 front, which gives range a slight boost and handling a bigger boost. SPO 28 front, which gives a bigger boost to handling and a smaller boost to range. Or SPO 57 front, which gives a plus 15 range boost but decreases handling. Again, all dependent on what your preference and playstyle is. In the magazine slot, you'll be looking for flared magwell, accurized rounds, or tactical mag. In the first perk slot, you're going to either want outlaw, rangefinder, or moving target. And in the last column, literally any of them. They're all good. Kill clip, rampage, high impact reserves, full auto if you're into that, snapshot, zen moment, or head seeker. This is just an overall solid pulse rifle to use, and with the right perk combination, you can definitely add to its consistency and efficiency. Our next gun on the list is a rapid fire frame pulse rifle, the Outlast. The Outlast is a 540 RPM pulse rifle that can be obtained by completing Gambit Prime matches and increasing your infamy rank. For damage numbers, the Outlast does 24 to the head and 14 to the body. It has an optimal time to kill of 0.80 seconds and a body shot time to kill of 1.40 seconds. For barrels, you've got quite a few options: arrowhead break, chambered compensator, extended barrel, corkscrew rifling, and fluted barrel. In the mag round, you're looking for either accurized rounds, steady rounds, or tactical mag. In the first perk slot, you can grind for either outlaw, feeding frenzy, which I believe is the only gun on this list that can roll this, or rangefinder. In the final perk slot, you'll want rampage, kill clip, snapshot, or high impact reserves. This slot also has the ability to roll demolitionist if you're into that as well. This thing is pretty smooth to use in the Crucible. Add a counterbalance mod to it and it can really do some work to your enemies. I'm actually starting to see an upward trend of people using this in the Crucible now, whether it's because more people are getting the gun or because people are starting to realize that this pulse kind of shreds. I'm not sure. But either way, if you're able to grind out some Gambit, by all means, make sure you try and go for this. After writing and recording this, I realized that you can also get this from tier 3 of the Reckoning, so if you're grinding that to get spare rations, this isn't a bad consolation prize. Number 5 on the list is a lightweight frame pulse rifle, Nightshade. Nightshade is the only 450 RPM pulse rifle to make the list today and can be acquired by completing strikes and earning rank up packages from Commander Zavala, the Vanguard vendor. Nightshade comes with a very high base handling stat of 69 and a good aim assistance stat of 68. Nightshade will do 25 to the head and 16 to the body. It has an optimal time to kill of 0.87 seconds and a body shot time to kill of 1.33 seconds. For this pulse, you also get to choose what scope you want instead of what barrel mod. So this will all come down to what you prefer the zoom to be on your scope, long or short. In the mag slot, again, accurized rounds, steady rounds, or tactical mag. In the first perk slot, you'll be looking at outlaw, rangefinder, or moving target. And in the final perk slot, rampage, kill clip, head seeker, snapshot, or high impact reserves. I know some people aren't huge head seeker fans, but with pulse rifles, a majority of the time, we won't be exclusively hitting headshots, which is why if you can turn those times when you aren't hitting headshots into a benefit for when you do hit headshots, I'm all about it. Nightshade was a weapon that was around since the beginning of Destiny 2, and I still have mine from vanilla Destiny 2. It's been a solid weapon to fall back on if I ever found myself in a slump. I highly recommend trying to pick one of these up. And the last pulse rifle on this list may surprise some of you, but I'll be sure to justify why it makes the list, and that is the exotic pulse rifle, Vigilant Wing. Vigilant Wing is a 530 RPM pulse rifle and has an exotic perk called Harsh Truths, which makes it fire in 5-round bursts. Additionally, when a nearby teammate is killed, you gain health regeneration and increased movement speed. It also has the perk Last Stand, which grants you improved weapon performance and greatly increased recovery when the wielder, you, is the last living member of the fire team. It also has an exotic catalyst that can be earned and applied, which allows this weapon to be fired in full auto. The Vigilant Wing will do 22 to the head and 15 to the body. It has an optimal time to kill of 0.77 seconds and a body shot time to kill of 1.27 seconds, which is the fastest of any pulse rifle in the game. Just based off of those last two numbers alone, this pulse rifle has the fastest time to kill combination, meaning optical and body shot, out of any pulse rifles in the game. The Vigilant Wing is a kinetic pulse rifle, which means you can also pair it with your Mindbender's Ambition, Beloved, or Wizened Rebuke. There is a bit of a learning curve when first using this pulse, as it is the only one in the game that currently has a 5-round burst. So make sure you're patient with yourself before completely ditching it and coming back to this video to yell at me in the comments. You may be wondering why I have yet to mention Rex's Broadsword, and I'll tell you why I didn't put it on. Based off of the criteria I mentioned in the beginning, it failed to meet 2 of the 3 requirements. First off, It is locked behind a very long and tedious questline that can only be completed in the Crucible. In fact, I'm not quite sure you can even obtain this quest anymore. You all will have to let me know if you still can or not. The second criteria it didn't meet was the combined time to kill statistics. Even though Rex Broadsword is the archetype that has the fastest optimal time to kill at 0.67 seconds, it has the slowest body shot time to kill, almost a full second slower, at 1.60 seconds. Rex's Broadsword is just too much of an all or nothing gun for me to feel comfortable using right now in the Crucible. Overall, pulse rifles are actually a very solid option to use in the Crucible. They may not have those eye-popping time to kill numbers like hand cannons do, but they will still be a very reliable and consistent option for you to use in the Crucible, especially in 6v6. Let me know what you think of the list. What pulse rifles did I miss out on? Again, just a reminder that I stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/manofcoal. All of my links will be down in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. A positive rating is always appreciated, and as always, we'll see ya.